Good morning from Cappadocia. After an incredible few days exploring Istanbul, we have now landed in the magical land of Cappadocia. If you haven't watched my Istanbul travel guide and tips yet, make sure to click the link above. I have shared loads of helpful info there. We have landed at Nevşehir Airport, and from here it takes about an hour and a half to reach Göreme, the heart of Cappadocia. Our hotel had already arranged a pickup for us from the airport, which costed us around 450 Turkish lira per person. Please keep in mind that you will be sharing the ride with 12 to 15 other people. On the way to Göreme, you will already start getting a taste of Cappadocia's magic. You will catch glimpses of unique rock formations and valleys like Sword Valley and others scattered across the landscape. If you enjoy my videos, please hit the subscribe button. It takes a lot of effort to craft these videos, and your support truly means the world to me. And here we are in Göreme, the beating heart of Cappadocia, surrounded by unique rock formations and valleys that look like something out of another planet. And this is our hotel. But it is not just any hotel, it's a cave hotel. Honestly, this has to be one of the most unique experiences in Cappadocia. For centuries, people here carved their homes straight into the soft volcanic rock. And today, many of them have been turned into this cozy boutique hotels. They have kept the charm of the stone walls and arches, but added all the modern comforts we need. While we waited to check in, someone was busy having a little chit-chat with her friend. That is for the plant?
Yes, what?
Shall we go now? Can we say goodbye to Hannah?
Okay.
Say goodbye to Hannah. She doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And this is our cave room. Sleeping here really makes you feel like you are part of history, like you are living the Cappadocia story instead of just visiting it. And then we walked up to the terrace. Oh wow, look at this view. I'm honestly falling short of words. This is just pure magic. After a quick lunch and freshen up, we decided to head out and explore Love Valley as the sun sets. Our hotel had arranged a car for us along with a fantastic guide. His name is Selime. Now, he wasn't very fluent in English, but honestly he went out of his way to make us feel comfortable. And the sweetest part is that he even kept an eye on our little one so we could enjoy the views without worrying much. Such a thoughtful gesture. Love Valley is one of Cappadocia's most famous valleys and is known for its unique rock formations, tall fairy chimneys, and striking landscape that's unlike anywhere else in the world. The shapes of the rocks are what gave the valley its name. Now, this valley owes its beauty to violent volcanic eruptions millions of years ago. Around 60 million years ago, series of massive volcanic eruptions from Mount Erciyes, Mount Hassan and Mount Gulu spewed out layers of ash, lava and basalt across the region. Over the time, the ash solidified into a soft rock called tuff, while the harder basalt formed protective caps on top. Fast forward to Ice Age, as glaciers melted, rivers of water began carving deep valleys into this soft tuff. The iconic fairy chimneys owe its unique shape to nature's balancing act. The hard basalt cap on top protects the softer tuff underneath from eroding too quickly. Selime dropped us off near the city center of Göreme, and we decided to take a leisurely stroll through the charming lanes and alleys. The town has such a cozy, welcoming vibe. We ended up having a fantastic dinner at a local spot. Sorry I couldn't film it. It was so busy inside, but trust me, the food was delicious. By the way, it's November here in Cappadocia and it feels pretty cold. The daytime highs are around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, but at night it can drop to 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. So if you are planning a trip, definitely check the weather forecast and pack accordingly. Layering is the only key. Good morning. Another wonderful day has begun here in Cappadocia. It's around 5:30 a.m. and we are off to chase the hot air balloons as the sun rises. An experience we are so glad we didn't miss. We have reached the takeoff point for the hot air balloons. Right now they are getting everything ready and I have to say my hands are freezing. I wasn't expecting it to be 0 degrees Celsius this early in the morning. A quick tip, balloon rides are completely weather dependent. If it's too windy, there's a high chance the ride can be cancelled. Normally you can take a ride over the valleys and the exact route depends on the package you choose. But we decided to skip this since we have a little one with us. It's just not worth taking the risk. Even watching them from the ground is magical. The balloons slowly inflate and start rising one by one. Their bright colors contrasting against the soft morning light. Once the takeoff has begun, we will be chasing them and watch them flying high up in the sky. And they are off. The balloons are taking off one by one, rising slowly into the sky. We are following them on the ground, chasing their colorful trails as they float over the valleys. Wow! Selime took us along for this balloon chase and it was a private tour which made it extra special. The experience costed us around 1500 Turkish lira on total, but honestly, seeing the sky filled with balloons over the valleys is priceless. We are standing at Love Valley viewpoint at sunrise with hundreds of hot air balloons floating gently in the sky. This simply is breathtaking. Watching this spectacle, you can't help but feel completely in awe of nature and the unique beauty of Cappadocia. As the sun peaks over the valleys, the fairy chimneys glow in golden hues and the whole landscape looks like something out of a dream. The balloons in every color imaginable drift gracefully above the landscape. This is one of those moments you will never forget. You will also see a few of the balloons slowly landing, which is just as magical as takeoff. And I have to say, this spot is perfect for a little photo shoot. We didn't have a professional photographer, fancy cameras, or fairy costumes, but honestly, the view is so stunning that even photos taken on a phone come out looking magical. That magical sunrise and balloon chase, we are back at our hotel. It's around 7:30 a.m. and the complimentary breakfast is all ready for us. Wow, there is so much to choose from. From fresh pastries to local specialities, it's a perfect way to refuel after an early morning adventure. Honestly, I don't know the name of all the dishes, but everything was absolutely delicious. As the clock ticks to 9, it's time to head out for another day of exploring. For today, we booked the Green Tour, a group tour arranged by our hotel. It costed us 2500 Turkish lira per person and comes with an local English-speaking guide. This tour covers some of the best spots in Cappadocia. Our first stop on the Green Tour is the Göreme panoramic viewpoint. And from here, you get a stunning view of the town of Göreme, the majestic Mount Erciyes, Uçhisar, and the beautiful Pigeon Valley stretching out below. Pigeon Valley in Cappadocia gets its name from the thousands of pigeon houses called dovecotes carved into the soft volcanic rock. For centuries, locals relied on pigeons not for food but for their droppings, which made excellent natural fertilizers for the vineyards and fields. Farmers built these tiny rock-cut shelters to attract pigeons and collect their guano. This is Uçhisar, another city best known for the Uçhisar Castle, the highest point in Cappadocia. This massive rock formation was hollowed out and used as a fortress and watchtower during ancient times. Every place has something unique it's known for, like India for rubies, China for jade, and Turkey is famous for Zultanite. Now we are at a place where Zultanite is actually used to make jewellery, a rare color-changing gemstone. Depending on the light, it can shift from green to golden to a beautiful pinkish hue. Next up, we are exploring the Derinkuyu, the deepest underground city and one of Cappadocia's most incredible sights. Before we step in here, we are looking down one of the air vents which run all the way to the lowest level, a feature that will surprise you how the citizens could maintain clean air and sanitation in the underground towns. There are 8 levels which could shelter up to 20,000 people and their livestock. It goes about 280 feet underground and includes tunnels, living quarters, storage rooms, kitchens, churches, and even a sophisticated ventilation system. Massive stone doors could be rolled into place to seal it off in times of danger. Please note that this city is not recommended for people with claustrophobia, heart diseases, and pregnant women in their later months due to the narrow tunnels, and the best way to explore underground cities is in the company of an experienced guide. The first floors were mainly stables since it was easier to keep animals there. This hole you see here was actually used to tie animals when they feed on hay. Interestingly, only about 10% of the city is now open to visitors today. Now, the corridors are lit, but back then it was just candles. And this city has everything that it needed to survive except sunlight. That's why the people were generally shorter in stature, partly due to vitamin D deficiency. The corridors are narrow and small, making it difficult to stand upright. You would think there is an issue during construction, but it is actually a defense mechanism. Invaders who were taller than them and armored would be forced to enter the city crouched over and in a single file, making it easy for the defenders to eliminate them at the end of the tunnel. origins are debated. Some say Cappadocian Hittites dug this impressive town around 15th century BCE. Others believe that it was Phrygians' work in the 7th century BC. Despite the disagreement on the architects of the town, there is a general consensus that the underground metropolis served to hide its inhabitants from their enemies. This purpose was especially crucial during the Byzantine period when Christians were fleeing from their Roman persecutors. When the Christians got into Cappadocia and discovered the city, they expanded and modified its existing structures by adding churches, schools, wineries, and other chambers that suited their needs. Kitchens where grapes were processed into wine and molasses were built on the upper floors for easier access. You can see the tandoor stoves similar to the one used in Cappadocia towns today. The soft volcanic rock allowed ancient civilizations to sculpt incredible structures into the terrain. This malleable rock was relatively easy to carve, yet strong enough to support the extensive network of tunnels and chambers without collapsing, a testament to the engineering acumen of its builders. It is believed that there is a 9-kilometer tunnel connecting Derinkuyu to the underground city at Kaimakli, forming a huge subterranean network. It's amazing to think how people lived down here for months at a time. It's incredible to think about the history hidden beneath Cappadocia's valleys. Next up on our green tour is Selime Monastery, one of the largest and most impressive religious sites in Cappadocia. Perched at the end of the Ihlara Valley, this rock-cut monastery dominates the landscape with its towering cliffs and caved structures. The first thing you notice is how massive and intricate it is, like a small city carved into stone. Selime Monastery dates back to 8th to 13th centuries during the Byzantine era. It served as a religious and educational center for monks and pilgrims. Architecture is fascinating. Steep staircases, tunnels, and passageways connect different levels. You can also see traces of chimneys, ventilation channels, and water cisterns, showcasing the ingenuity required to live in a rocky, elevated monastery for long periods. From the top of Selime Monastery, the view of Ihlara Valley is absolutely breathtaking. It's a canyon carved by Melendez River over thousands of years. See the valley stretch for kilometers with the Melendez River winding through it, flanked by lush greenery and dramatic cliffs. It's easy to see why this valley was such an ideal place for monasteries, settlements, and cave dwellings, secluded, scenic, and naturally fortified. The complex includes chapels, living quarters, kitchens, a cathedral-sized church, stables, and even a small cathedral with a high vaulted ceiling, all carved directly into the volcanic rock. Some of the ceilings feature Byzantine frescoes, though many are faded out today. The monastery was not only a spiritual hub but also a strategic site. Its elevated location offered a perfect lookout over the surrounding valleys and paths that connected Cappadocia settlements. This made it easier to spot any approaching threats and provided safety for monks and villagers alike. You get a mix of history, architecture, and natural beauty all in one spot. The monastery shows the incredible craftsmanship and spiritual life of the Byzantine monks, while the valley below reminds you of the timeless beauty of Cappadocia's landscape. It's one of those places where history and nature come together perfectly. After exploring Selime Monastery and soaking in the view of Ihlara Valley, it's time for a short trek along the Melendez River. The trail is peaceful and shaded, with a gentle sound of the river guiding our way. Along the path, you will pass small rock-cut churches and caves, which makes every step feel like walking through history. Our destination is Belirima village, where we will stop for lunch. It sits right along the river, so you can enjoy a delicious meal while taking in the calm scenic surroundings. While the location by the river was beautiful, the food itself wasn't quite up to the mark. There were cats roaming around the kitchen and tables, which raised some hygienic concern. Also, even though the lunch was included in our package, we were charged extra for soft drinks and water, prices that weren't mentioned on the menu. So a bit of mixed experience, but at least the views made up for it. So deeply fascinated by the balloons that I couldn't miss the chance to watch them once again, this time right from our hotel terrace. Seeing them fill the sky was absolutely spectacular, though the freezing frost reminded us just how cold Cappadocia can be in November. The terrace itself was stunning with views that I will never forget. After that, we enjoyed another delicious complimentary breakfast at the hotel before it was time to say goodbye. Since there are no direct flights from Cappadocia to Manchester, we will be stopping in Istanbul first and then continuing all the way back home. Home, sweet home. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button.